In progress.
Perfect. Can you guys hear me okay and see me okay? Perfect. All right. So you should be seeing module 4 of 8 on your screen. All right. So guys, my name is Tara Newland. I know it shows Marnie's picture on the Zoom, but I have been a travel advisor since July of 2018. Prior to that, I was a manager at a hotel in an independent chain. So we are on accommodations this week, which is module 4 of 8. And we are on my most favorite module because that's my background of where I come from. I love hotels. Hotels are pretty easy once you get to know them. So make sure you guys are ready to learn. You guys have something to write with, and we'll get started. All right, so training expectations as always, you're interested in booking travel, be trainable, both new agents and or seasoned agents. Take notes and print screenshots when advised or as needed. And of course, always ask questions. There are no dumb questions. And then last but not least, participate in the challenges. I strongly urge you guys to follow that because it will help reinforce the learning that we had for today. So please do the challenges. Let's see. I am going to. All right, so here's what our agenda looks like for today, guys. Check challenge from module 3. Definitions, travel lingo, importance of a hotel, pop quiz, rates, amenities, and availability, occupancy, hotel ratings, common hotel booking mistakes, and then another pop quiz. All right, so get your chat box ready. We're going to do the challenge check. So who did the challenge for the booking? Both Fred and Ethel and Lucy and Desi love their last vacation, but really want to book a trip to Paris, France for the 4 of them. Fred and Ethel want to go to Florence, Italy, and then home. Lucy and Desi want to add on Spain to their itinerary. They all both want to stay 5 days in each location. All right, we said they give a sample booking for them. Make sure you tell me what kind of ticket you are booking, non-refundable or refundable. Money is no object, but they do want refundable tickets. Their dates are in July of 2023. Make sure to think about what kind of bedding and best value for a moderate trip. Make sure to put in what amenities there are at the hotels. And then always, did you guys learn at least 10 new airport codes? If you did, show me a fire emoji in the chat box if you learned 10 new airport codes this week. And for my regulars who have been here before, come on, I better see those fire emojis. Thank you, Brandon. All right. Practice using abbreviations in your daily notes. If you did that, give me a smiley face in the chat box. Did anybody practice using abbreviations? Yes. All right, and then memorize all lingo. Put in the chat box something you now know that you did not know before. No worries, Jamie. This is kind of like our routine, so just bear with us. You're fine joining now. You can pick up where we are. So, all right. Anybody put something in that they now know that they did not know before as far as lingo goes? All right, lots of first timers on here. Yay. All right, and then learn about our world and geography. What site did you go to reinforce your learning? If you did do that, put it in the chat box as well. All right. So getting to know you guys. Who has joined us for the first 2 modules, or first 3 modules? I'm sorry, first 3 modules. Anybody joined us for all 3 modules before this one? All right. Thank you, Tanya, Brandon. I know I have more people in here. There we go. All right. How many of you are brand new to travel? That means you've only booked travel for yourself and nobody else. All right, perfect. How many of you worked in the hospitality travel industry before starting your own agency? Has anybody worked in hospitality travel before starting your own agency? Okay. Awesome, awesome. Lots of hotel people. All right. And then what has been your favorite property to stay at? Does anybody have a favorite property that they've stayed at so far? Like the hotel just blew them away. Okay. I see Oregon, Anaheim, W. Yes, Lisa, W in Nashville was phenomenal. They even have like a hidden speakeasy. So cool. All right, Harrah's and the Truman Club. Anybody else? See, we got Ryu, sweet. Okay, perfect. Anytime you guys see this little owl pop up, that means you want a screenshot, okay? So if you see this little owl pop up, I can't even speak this morning. A little owl pop up on your screen, we want a screenshot, okay? You don't have to screenshot this one, but this is just to show you guys, okay? All right. So does anybody, before we get started on Travel Lingo, did anybody do the booking from module 3 that would like to share it? Anybody that did the booking from module 3 that would like to share it before we move on? Come on, my brave people. Nobody? Nobody wants to share what they did? It's all a learning experience, guys. Module 3 was our last module on airfare. So it was a deeper dive into booking airfare. And actually, it was that booking that I had put up on the screen. If nobody wants to share it, that's fine. Honestly, I didn't get to it either. I have to leave town tonight. I'm taking the last flight out of Phoenix, so I did not get a chance to do it either. But I do strongly urge you guys to do those. It is recorded. I will put my YouTube in here as soon as we get done. So that way you guys can go ahead and look it up, okay? Yasmin, I will give my YouTube channel in just a moment. Give me just a second while I see if I can pull it up real quick. Sorry, guys, I didn't even think to pull it up before I got started. I apologize, but let me put the link in here so you guys have it. And my mouse is kind of going crazy right now, so bear with me. All right, so let me give you the link to my channel. So I'm going to give you the link to one of the videos, and it should take you to my YouTube channel where you guys can watch all of them, but this is the link to one of the videos, okay? And if you guys are searching for me on YouTube, you will search for this name. Oops, there we go. So this is what my YouTube channel is at, okay? So everybody should have that, and we'll move on to Travel Lingo. So most of these travel terms are going to be related to accommodation, since that's what we're working on today. So this, let me move the toolbar out of the way because that is just really distracting. Let's see. There we go. So ensuring a perfect hotel stay is one of the crucial ways that you guys can improve your worth to your clients, right? Everybody's had those really, really terrible hotel stays where you're like, I don't even know why I even stayed the night here. It was awful. And so if you guys really want to impress your clients, finding them the most perfect accommodations is one of the most crucial ways you can improve your worth, okay? All right. So folio is an itemized record of a guest's charges and credits, which is maintained in the front office until departure. Also referred to as a guest bill or a guest statement. Okay. So I'm sure you guys have always gone down, got your receipt before checkout, or like I know Marriott, Hilton, they all email them to you if you put your email on file, but those are called folios, okay? Walking a guest. Now, if you've worked in the hotel industry, you've probably had to do this at least once. If you have not worked in the hotel industry, you're probably like, I have no idea what that is. Walking a guest is when a hotel cannot accommodate a guest reservation, usually because it's oversold its rooms and it sends the guest to stay in a hotel within close proximity that is also comparable to the hotel that they booked. This is never a fun situation, but hotels are known for overselling their rooms, and this is what happens when they do. ROH stands for run of house. A basic room type with no guaranteed specific amenities. Okay, guys. So when you see that, when you see run of house or room on hand, sometimes that'll be that too. Those are just a basic room type that gets assigned to the client when they check in. So no requesting 2 beds, anything like that. It's just whatever's available. Adjoining rooms. These are 2 hotel or accommodation rooms that have a common wall, but do not have a connecting door. So many people think, oh, I'm going to get an adjoining room. That means that we have a common door that we can walk through and share. That is not an adjoining room. That is a connecting room. An adjoining room just shares a common wall. All right, all inclusive. A resort that includes minimum lodging, at a minimum lodging, 3 meals a day, soft drinks, most alcoholic drinks, gratuities, and possibly other services in the price. Many offer entertainment, activities, sports, and non-motorized water sports included. Okay, that's the key word right there, non-motorized water sports. Okay, so make sure that you emphasize that to your clients. Some all-inclusive resorts have sister properties nearby each other. Many times they will offer access to the sister property. However, it doesn't always mean full reciprocity. So basically, guys, like I just had clients come back from Majestic Mirage in Punta Cana. There is Majestic Colonial, Majestic Elegance, and Majestic Mirage. Majestic Colonial is the base, Majestic Elegance is the middle tier, and Majestic Mirage is the high tier. Because they stayed at Majestic Mirage, they had access to all the amenities at the other 2 properties. And there was a shuttle that would go back and forth to the other properties. However, if somebody stays at Majestic Colonial, which is the lowest tiered one, that doesn't mean that they have access to sister properties. So you guys have to read the terms and conditions and make sure that, you know, if it says they have access, that they really do have access. Reuse another one that does that. They'll give you access. Pueblo Bonito in Mexico, they do it as well. Okay. So there's your screenshot. Go ahead and take your screenshots. All right, I'm going to be changing the screen in 3, 2, 1. All right, so more travel lingo. Excuse me. So a room block is a number of rooms, seats, or space reserved in advance, usually by wholesalers, tour operators. An example of a tour operator would be VAX or Pleasant Holidays or Classic Vacations, or receptive operators who intend to sell them as components of tour packages. Okay, that's what a room block is. Another example of a room block would be a wedding room block. So if you have a group, let's say a corporate group or a wedding group, you can also get room blocks for them as well. Typically, there's a contract that's involved with those. Some hotels will do it where, you know, they give you a certain allotment of rooms, and if you don't use them by this date, they get released back into inventory so that you're not financially responsible for them. Other places, they make you put a deposit down and you are financially responsible for getting all those rooms in the room block sold. Okay. Connecting room, 2 rooms that are connected to each other by a door. So if your clients are traveling with kids and they say they want an adjoining room, they don't. What they mean they want is a connecting room, because that will have that interior door that they can access each other by. Okay. European plan is a rate at a hotel that includes no meals. So if you ever see this in your rates where it says European plan, that means that no meals are included in that rate. Half board or modified American plan, also called MAP. Half board includes 2 meals. One of them is breakfast, the other is lunch or dinner. Dinner is the most common, but many hotels are flexible if guests ask to switch to a midday meal. Most properties will even offer a takeout option for those on a long outing, and drinks are not included in the price unless otherwise stated, okay? So we have European plan, no meals, half board, 2 meals. Full board. Full board includes the 3 main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which are usually served as buffets, okay? If hotels have multiple restaurants, they're generally not included, or guests have to pay to dine a la carte. As with half board, drinks are usually only part of the deal for breakfast. During lunch and dinner, one beverage may sometimes be included. In other cases, all drinks are a la carte or available as drink packages, okay? Limited service hotel. This is a hotel property without a restaurant on site, okay? A limited service hotel is a hotel property without a restaurant on site. A full service hotel is a hotel with restaurant facilities, even if it's only one restaurant. Value added tax. Now you guys will see this when you book over in Europe and overseas. So value added tax, or VAT, is a tax on goods in Europe, which under certain circumstances can be refunded. So sometimes you'll see where it says on the rate VAT not included. That means that the value added tax is going to be due when the client checks into the hotel. It's not included in the rate that you're giving them. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to those things. Go ahead and take your screenshots. All right, changing the screen in 3, 2, 1. All right, bed tax, transient occupant tax, okay, or TOT, city or county tax added to the price of a hotel room. So a lot of times when you see your breakdown on your folio, it'll say bed tax. That's what it's referring to, city or county taxes that are added to the price of the hotel room. Blackout dates, specific dates in which special fares or promotions do not apply. Typically exist around holidays or special events. So a lot of times when you guys are booking hotels, they have like a really great special going on and you want to book that, and then it has a blackout date, and the blackout date is, let's say, spring break, right? Because all the hotels get rid of their promotional rates during spring break because they get the business anyway. They don't want to lower their rates. So make sure you pay attention to blackout dates. FIT is free independent travel. Individual travel in which a tour operator has previously arranged blocks of rooms at various destinations in advance for use by individual travelers. These travelers travel independently, not in a group, usually by rental car or public transportation. Okay. GIT, G-I-T, group independent travel. Group travel in which individuals purchase a group package in which they will travel with others along a preset itinerary. Group rate is a negotiated hotel rate for convention, trade show, meeting, tour, or incentive group. Okay, group rate. Heads in beds, industry slang referring to the primary marketing objective of accommodations and most destinations, increasing the number of overnight stays. No-show, a customer with a reservation at a restaurant, hotel, etc., who fails to show up and does not cancel. Okay, the keyword is does not cancel. So we all know that there's cancellation terms in hotel room bookings, okay? A lot of times, even if they're within the cancellation penalty window and you call and you say, hey, my client had a family emergency or something, a lot of times they will still give you a refund, depending on how booked the hotel is. If the occupancy for that night is high, they may release the room and give you a refund because they want to resell it at a higher rate. If the occupancy for the hotel is low, then they probably are going to not honor giving you a refund because you're already within that penalty window, and they're going to charge you the 1 night room and tax unless it says otherwise. Some hotels will charge you 2 or 3 nights room and tax. Some only charge you 1 night as a penalty. Okay, so make sure you're reading that too when you're sending your recs to your client so that they know what their cancellation penalty is. Is it going to be 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights? Go ahead and take your screenshots. All right. I'm going to change the screen in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, get your chat box ready. Hot quiz time. What is a folio? It's a guest bill. Yes. A guest bill or statement. What does it mean when a client asks for adjoining rooms? What does it mean when a client asks for adjoining rooms? Leah says a shared wall, rooms next to each other. They want rooms next to each other, okay? Remember that these rooms do not share a common door. They share a common wall, okay? No connecting door. Make sure that you are fully aware of that. What is a European plan? No food, no meals. That is correct. That means you have a room. That's it. Doesn't include meals. What is that? What is that? Value added tax. Okay, but what is value added tax? What is it? It's on goods. Yes, it's a tax on goods. So a tax on goods in Europe, which under certain circumstances can be refunded. Okay. So like we went over bed tax, right? So bed tax is something that you'll see in the US, but in Europe, it's value added tax. Okay. And what is the difference between half board and full board? Half board is 2 meals, full board is 3. Okay. Now, full board and all inclusive, completely different, right? Because we said full board does not include drinks. So you want to make sure that you understand the difference between full board and all inclusive. They are not the same. All right. So next, we're going to go over rate types. Before we start rate types, does anybody have any questions about any of the terms we just went over? Full board is just for meals. Yes. All right, perfect. So rate types, rack rate or bar rate. This is the published brochure rate for a travel component, the price of a hotel prior to any discounts. Okay. So anytime you call and say, hey, can I have your rate of the day or rack rate? That's what they're going to give you. It's the day, it's the published rate that everybody can see online. Okay. Corporate rate is a hotel rate that is designed to appeal to the needs of the business traveler. It is not necessarily a discounted rate or the minimum rate. Did you guys lose me? Okay. All right, perfect. Sorry about that. Okay, so a discounted rate or the minimum rate offered by the hotel. Corporate rates normally guarantee the best available room at a fixed cost for a specific period, typically outlined in a contract between the hotel and the company, okay? So I want you guys to keep this in mind. Corporate rates will be available to that company all year long, okay? There's typically no blackout dates for a corporate rate. So what it is it might be a little bit slightly discounted, but it stays the same for that company throughout the entire year. So Intel has corporate rates. A lot of the big companies like that, where they send people all the time traveling, will have their own corporate rates at hotels, okay? This recording will be on my YouTube channel when we are done. All right, day rate, also called a day room. Typically, you don't see these anymore, but sometimes hotels will do them. It's a reduced rate granted for the use of a guest room during the daytime, not overnight occupancy, usually provided on a tour when a very late night departure is scheduled, okay? So that's something too, where, you know, if you have a late night flight going out, maybe you're taking a red eye home, you can ask the hotel if they have, oh, no problem, no problem. So you can ask for that, you know, if you have like a red eye out, you know, call the front desk, say, hey, do you guys have a day rate that I could get? I'm not staying overnight tonight. And usually it's like half the price of a regular room night because you're not staying the full day. All right, group rate is a negotiated rate on travel, perhaps a stay or vacation plan that incentivizes for a large crowd or group that books together. Okay. Yeah, airport hotels are common for offering day rates. So that's another place you can look if you do have a client that's doing a red eye, have them stay at a hotel, an airport hotel. Negotiated rate is a discounted rate offered to a company based on the volume of business you agree to provide the selected vendor. This could be like AARP or AAA. AARP and AAA typically give a 10% to a 15% discount on rooms. So this is another question that you want to ask your clients when you're doing your inquiry. You know, you're taking the inquiry. Do they have AAA? Do they have AARP? Because this will help them get discounted rates, okay? Non-refundable is a fare that cannot be refunded either in cash or via a credit card. Okay, very seldom is there an exception. So that's, I very rarely will book a non-refundable rate just because you never know what's going to happen. And if you read some of the terms and conditions of travel insurance, some of them do not cover non-refundable rates. Some of them do, some of them don't. So, I don't know what the equivalent of AAA is in Europe. That's a good question, though. I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure what that is. So guys, non-refundable rates, be very, very careful with, okay? To the hotel, that's a guaranteed payment. And they will make an exception sometimes, but more times than not, they won't. So make sure that you guys understand that and you're advising your clients, hey, if we have to cancel, whether it's for a family reason, a family emergency, something like that, this is a non-refundable rate. You will not get your money back. Plain and simple. Tell them it like that because you don't want them thinking that there's a chance that they might and then not get it back, okay? All right. And then flexible rate, a rate that allows you to change or cancel the reservation if your plans change or if the nightly rate drops. Typically, you are allowed to cancel without penalty anywhere from 24 hours prior to arrival to 7 days prior to arrival. Again, read your cancellation terms and conditions, guys, okay? If you have a feeling that the rate's going to be dropping, this is a good rate to book because you can cancel and rebook at the current rate, which typically might be lower, okay? So that's what a flexible rate is. All right, there's the owl. Go ahead and take your screenshots. All right, and I'm going to change it in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Lindsay asked, does travel insurance cover non-refundable? Some of them do, some of them don't. So you really need to read the terms and conditions of that travel insurance policy that you're selling. I know a lot of them on VAX say that they do not cover non-refundable rates, but I know like the ones through Tinlake say that they do. So it really just depends on the specific plan, and you need to make sure that you're, going through the terms and conditions and letting the client know whether or not it's covered. Okay. And then before we go any further too, I just want to tell you guys, this is something I put on all of my quotes. All right. I send this on all of my quotes and any mock bookings that I do as well. Rates and availability are subject to change until a deposit is made. Rates and availability are subject to change until a deposit is made. What's one thing I always tell you guys? And for my people that come all the time, what do I tell you guys? CYB. What does CYB stand for? Cover your butt. That is right. So always with any mock bookings that you put on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is that you guys use, always put rates and availability are subject to change until a deposit is made. Same thing on your quotes that you send to clients. That way, if the price changes, they can't come back to you and say, well, you said this is the price. As we know, rates and availability can change at any time, right? Anytime. So you don't want to be stuck in that position where the client is saying, but this is what you told me. Also, You also can say amenities are not guaranteed and can be changed by the hotel at any time, okay? So amenities are not guaranteed and can be changed by the hotel at any time. All right, an example of this may be hotel may offer breakfast, but due to COVID protocols, it's a grab and go breakfast, not a full breakfast. Okay. I know we're kind of getting out of those COVID policies now, but this is something just to advise your clients of, so that, you know, you said that they get a breakfast, right? And then they get there and they get a grab and go breakfast because they're still on COVID protocols and they're like, where's my hot breakfast? Because a grab and go breakfast is usually like a muffin, you know, a granola bar or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're advising your clients so that they know that sometimes these things do change. Okay, so amenities are the facilities and features of our property, usually or destination accommodation, okay? Free or paid parking, that's an example of a hotel amenity. So I know that in the booking that we did for module 3, it said list amenities of the hotel, okay? Free Wi-Fi, room service, complimentary luggage storage, fancy bathrobes, kid-friendly rooms and products, pet-friendly rooms, free breakfast, laundry services, beach access, both public or private, concierge desk, elevator or lift, restaurant on site, transportation, pool, business facilities, waterfront, all-inclusive, handicap accessibility, non-smoking and smoking rooms. Now, guys, with the one that says elevator / lift, all right, in Europe, they use the word lift. So if it says a lift is not available and you have somebody who's maybe 70 years old, make sure that they're aware when you do your hotel recommendation that, hey, this hotel does not have a lift, does not have an elevator. That means you'll be walking 3 flights of stairs if they put you on the 3rd floor. Okay, some hotels do have that. So, Cindy, no, there wasn't supposed to be anything about those. Those are just my tips and tricks from things that I've learned in just working in that industry. So that's why I gave you guys those, that wording. All right. So, we're going to go to room occupancy next. So occupancy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
If, like, let's say there's no hotel or elevator or lift in the hotel, can we request when we book for a 1st floor? I mean, is that...
You can request it, but remember, it is just a request. It is not a guarantee.
Okay.
Bed types, floor requests, those are all requests, not guarantees. And anytime you call a hotel to request those things, they will advise you that we will do our best to accommodate. It's never a guarantee, though. All right. I just had that big group that went to Punta Cana, and there was a combination of like brothers and sisters sharing a room, and then couples sharing a room, and then friends sharing a room. And so, you know, the group person that I dealt with, the lead person, she said, you know, this person has to have 2 beds. This person has to have 1 bed. This person has to have, you know, 2 beds and a rollaway. And I'm like, okay, just so you know, I can go ahead and request those for you. However, that is what they are. They are requests, and the hotel will do its best to accommodate those requests. But if they cannot, then they won't. And the reason for that is the hotel never knows what their occupancy is going to be. Somebody may decide that they love the hotel and they want to stay 3 extra days, and they come down to the front desk and they're like, hey, I want to stay 3 extra days in this, you know, two queen bed room, right? Well, now if I look at my occupancy, that's going to make me oversold on 2 queen beds. So that means somebody coming in, if I allow this person to stay over, is not going to get their 2 queen beds that they requested, because I'm now oversold on that. So that's why it's always a request and not a guarantee. Okay. So occupancy is the number of people that can safely occupy a room. Guys, this is so important, because people will say, let's just say I'm just put 2 people, but I'm going to have 4 in there. No, no, no. you need to put the accurate number of people, okay? Yes, they do charge, you know, $10 per person after the second person because rates are always on double occupancy. Yes, they charge $10 extra per person for, you know, per night, but you guys want to make sure that you're being as honest as possible and let them know that if for some reason the hotel finds out that they have 4 people staying in that room versus the 2 we put on the reservation, they will charge them that $10 per person per night on top when they get there. So it's always better to be honest rather than fib. So room occupancy is normally set according to fire code, okay? So if it says max 4 people in this room, it's not like they're trying to gyp you guys, right? That they can't fit 5 people. It's because that's what the fire code is set to. Safely, 4 people can occupy that room. Rollaway beds typically cannot be set up in a room with 2 queen beds. Again, that's according to fire code because there's not enough space in those rooms with 2 queen beds, unless it's like a suite, that they can put a rollaway in there and have everybody safely evacuate should there be a fire. Okay, it ends up blocking all the walkways. Double check the number of people that are staying for an all-inclusive resort and ages, as that affects the pricing for a rate. So this resort, all-inclusive resort, may have a rate for children ages 3 to 12, but after 12, they become an adult rate. So you need to make sure that you're putting in the correct ages at the time of travel, not the time of booking, so that the pricing is accurate. And then be transparent with clients when stating occupancy limits in a room. Let them know it's set by the fire code. It's for your safety. Single occupancy. It's usually used when one person stays in a double room on their own. Single occupancy rates can be a higher rate. Now, if you go on to Marriott.com and you put one person in a room on a king bed, typically the rate does not go up, okay? But if you're doing these type of things in Europe, the single occupancy rates are usually higher than double occupancy rates. So double occupancy is a type of travel accommodation, as in a hotel for 2 persons sharing the same room. The rate is $35 per person, double occupancy, or $65 single occupancy. Again, this is another thing that you guys will see with cruises. Single occupancy is always higher. Okay, so you guys need to pay attention to those. Triple occupancy, 3 people occupying 1 room. Bed configuration could be a king and a single, or 3 twin beds. You will see that a lot in Europe, 3 twin beds, or double and a single, okay? Quadruple occupancy means 4 people occupying a room. Bed configuration could be 2 kings, or 2 queens, or 2 doubles. And then a family room. You guys will see this again in Europe, a lot in Europe. A family room is typically larger than a standard room and can accommodate 4 to 6 people, usually with an extra twin bed or sofa sleeper, okay? And again, you guys will see that a lot with all-inclusives. You'll see that a lot with European hotels. That's just how they label it. So go ahead and take your screenshots. All right, guys. Anybody have any questions on room occupancy or hotel amenities? No? Awesome. All right, so next we're going to go over hotel ratings. Hotel ratings are pretty important because every country has a different meaning of star rating. When a client asks for a 4-star property in the US, we know what to look for. But when looking for a 4-star property in Europe, you need to do your research, okay? And I'll show you why. There's no straightforward answer to defining each star rating. The US and other countries use completely different approaches to assigning stars, and each individual rating system has a different definition of quality. The stars are based on quality. My interpretation of quality may be different than yours. Again, it's very subjective. According to hoteltechreport.com, in France, the US, Germany, and the United Kingdom, how a hotel is classified is voluntary. France, for instance, allows private organizations to provide a star rating authorized by COFRAC, the French Accreditation Committee. Other European countries, including Germany, use the Hotel Stars Union, which is a trade association for hotels and restaurants. And the US uses AAA and Forbes stars, okay? So very different on how they are classified. Yes, Yasmin, we can go ahead and do another screenshot of hotel amenities at the end. All right, so but in Italy, Spain, and Greece, the responsibility for providing a star rating falls to regional governments, okay? Each region within Spain, for instance, will pass legislation that precisely describes the characteristics and minimum requirements each hotel must have to earn that level of stars. Public inspectors visit each property to make sure the hotel is complying with the rules assigned to each category. Travelers are rarely cognizant of the difference between a star rating assigned by a government inspector, one by a trade organization, or one assigned by fellow travelers on an online travel agency. Even among online travel agencies or OTAs, there's a distinct difference in how stars are assigned. Here's a good example of how star ratings differ by platform, okay? So go ahead and take your screenshots, and I'm going to show you guys on the next slide what it looks like. All right, everybody got their screenshots? Going to change the slide in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's an example, guys. So hotels.com, a 1-star is a small to medium property, includes phone and TV in the bedroom, no room service. Okay, that's how hotels.com classifies it. Expedia classifies it as basic, no frills, minimal facilities, small and functional. Michelin does not classify a 1-star. Forbes does not classify a 1-star. AAA classifies it as essential, no frills, budget minded. So do you see how subjective that can be? Hotels.com for 2 stars. They can be 2 to 4 stories high, convenient to public transportation, clean but basic, no restaurant on site. So in that instance, that would be like your Holiday Inns or your Best Westerns, things like that. Those would be 2 stars. Expedia classifies it as value, clean, basic, daily housekeeping. Michelin doesn't do 2 stars. Forbes doesn't do 2 stars. AAA says it's a modest and overall physical attributes, design elements, and amenities. All right, 3 stars. More spacious rooms, according to hotels.com. More spacious rooms, decorated lobbies, medium-sized restaurants on site, often include fitness centers or pools. Expedia says that a 3-star is a quality, style, comfort, personalized service, better quality bedding, larger bathrooms. Michelin says it's a high quality product. Forbes says it recommended properties by Forbes are those with consistently good service and facilities. And then AAA says it's distinguished style, upgraded quality of amenities, and comfort. Okay, 4 stars. Hotels.com, large formal hotels, well-lit rooms that are nicely decorated, offer continental breakfast, smart reception areas, and room service. Expedia says a 4-star has upscale decor, superior amenities such as turn-down service and concierge. Michelin says it's an excellent property. Forbes says it's exceptional properties with high quality service and facilities. And then AAA says it's upscale in all areas, refined and stylish with a high degree of hospitality service and attention to detail. And then last but not least, we have 5 stars. Hotels.com says it's a high degree of personal service, sumptuous lobbies, concierge service, stylish rooms, and elegant intimacy. Expedia says it's a gourmet dining, luxury spa, polished service, upgraded check-in, elegant decor. Michelin says it's going to 5 stars, an exceptional property. Forbes says it's outstanding, iconic properties with flawless service and amazing facilities. And then AAA says it's the ultimate in luxury and sophistication, extraordinary in every manner. Now, do any of these surprise you guys? All right, everybody says no, those don't surprise you. Does anybody see how it can be very subjective? What I think is, elegant rooms is different than what Heidi may think is an elegant room, right? I mean, it's so subjective, it's ridiculous. Anybody have any comments, questions, concerns? All right, does it kind of open your eyes to how you look at hotel ratings now? When I do my inquiries with my clients via the phone, I never ask them what star of property they want. What I ask them is, what amenities does the property that you want need to have? Okay, what amenities does the property you want need to have? Don't ask them what star rating, because as you can see, it's so different. It's different to everybody. So you need to phrase it in a way that they're telling you what that hotel must have in order for them to want to stay there. Okay. So go ahead and take your screenshots. All right. And we are going to change it in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So mobile star ratings for hotels and motels. All right. So Mobile Travel Guide recognizes the individualized nature of many different types of lodging establishments, such as bed and breakfast, limited service inns, guest ranches, and other unique properties. They classify a 1-star as an establishment is a limited service hotel or motel that is considered clean, comfortable, and reliable establishment. In the Mobile Star ratings 2 stars, they consider the establishment is a hotel/resort that is considered a clean, comfortable, and reliable establishment, but also has expanded amenities such as full-service restaurant on the property. So see the way that this 2-star is classified versus an Expedia 2-star, totally different. 3-star establishment is a hotel resort which is well appointed with a full-service restaurant and expanded amenities such as, but not limited to, fitness center, golf course, tennis courts, 24-hour room service, and optional turn-down service. A 4-star is an establishment, is a hotel resort inn, which provides a luxury experience with expanded amenities in a distinctive environment. Services may include, but are not limited to, automatic turn-down service, 24-hour room service, and valet parking. And a 5-star is an establishment that provides consistently superlative service in an exceptionally distinctive luxury environment with expanded services. Attention to detail is evident throughout the hotel, resort/inn, from the bed linens to the staff uniforms. All right, any questions on these? All right. So AAA diamond ratings for hotels and motels. Again, AAA diamond ratings for hotels represent a combination of the overall quality, range of facilities, and level of services offered by the property. The descriptive ratings are assigned exclusively to properties that meet and uphold AAA's rigorous quality standards, AAA approved lodgings. So 1 diamond properties appeal to the budget-minded traveler. They provide essential, no-frills accommodations. They meet the basic requirements pertaining to comfort, cleanliness, and hospitality. 2 diamonds, properties appeal to the traveler seeking more than basic accommodations. They provide modest enhancements to the overall physical attributes, design elements, and amenities of the facility, typically at a moderate price. 3 diamond, properties appeal to the traveler with comprehensive needs. Properties are multifaceted with a distinguished style, including marked upgrades in the quality of physical attributes, amenities, and level of comfort provided. A 4 diamond, properties are upscale in all areas. Accommodations are progressively more refined and stylish. The physical attributes reflect an obviously enhanced level of quality throughout. The fundamental hallmarks at this level include an extensive array of amenities combined with a high degree of hospitality service and attention to detail. And then last but not least, the 5 diamond. This properties reflects the characteristics of the ultimate in luxury and sophistication. Accommodations are first class. The physical attributes are extraordinary in every manner. The fundamental hallmarks at this level are providing meticulous service, exceeding guest expectations, and maintaining impeccable standards of excellence. Many personalized services and amenities provide an unmatched level of comfort. Any questions on AAA diamond ratings? David, it is subjective to who's doing the diamond inspections, but there's usually a questionnaire they have to fill out as they're going along. So It may say, you know, how many thread count is this particular linen, things like that. So while it is kind of subjective, they do have a criteria that they have to mark down, that it has to be, you know, met, exceeds, all of that. Okay. All right. Anybody ever heard of GDS? GDS is a is kind of like Sabre, so you can book things directly. They're a system that you can book things directly on. So GDS hotel ratings. Again, there's tourist class, standard class, first class, and luxury class. A tourist class is basic and functional accommodations, suitable for clients on groups or on a budget, and limited public areas, food service, and facilities. Standard class would be dependable and comfortable hotel, suitable for the average business or pleasure traveler, limited public areas, food service, and facilities. They tend to have moderate room sizes, breakfast in small informal restaurants. First class, exceptionally comfortable hotel, suitable for demanding business clients, superior standard of service facilities and public areas, and then generous room sizes. They're a modern hotel or outstandingly well-maintained older hotel. Okay, they may have a superior executive floor. And then luxury class would be a prestigious hotel with a well-known name, highest standards of service, accommodation, and facilities, and they are among the world's best hotels. Any questions on these? All right, how do you guys feel in terms of knowing about how hotel ratings are done? Do you guys feel a little bit more knowledgeable on how to advise your clients? Awesome. All right, common mistakes in hotel bookings. Okay, guys, these are so common, and that I used to be a manager of a team that did travel agents that booked hotels. So that's where I pulled these common mistakes for, because I would see these all the time. Always expecting the best room. Okay, joining hotel loyalty programs can help guarantee a better room placement. Free nights or helpful amenities like complimentary breakfast, late checkout, and or free Wi-Fi. If they're not part of a hotel loyalty program, they can't always expect the best room, right? Because that's the whole point of a loyalty program is to reward those who are part of the loyalty program. So if they want to expect one of the better rooms, they should be part of the hotel loyalty program, okay? Expecting requests to be guaranteed. Okay, this is going back to like bedding types, other things like that. Those are requests. They are never guaranteed. So bed types, high floor, non-smoking, particular views are requests. And while the hotel will generally honor those requests, they are never guaranteed. It's worth calling the hotel shortly before arrival to confirm those requests. The closer to arrival, the better, because they will have a better idea of what their occupancy is looking like. So when booking view rooms, check if the view is obstructed, as that may be reflected in the price of the room. Hotels cannot control if a room type is available. Stayovers, like for example, stayovers, people deciding they want to stay longer, or rooms that may have been put out of order for repairs. When saying the date to a client, make sure you say the day of the week and the date, okay? Not just the date, because they may have confused the date with a different day. And so you would say to the client, you want to arrive on Friday, June 12th, but yet the 12th falls on a Saturday. So you always should say the day as well as the date, okay? Double check arrival and departure dates. Again, we just talked about this. If your customer is taking a red eye, let's say on the 14th, but don't arrive till the 15th, if you put their arrival date as the 14th, they paid for a room night that they didn't use. Now, if you want to be able to check in earlier than the normal check-in time, then you would want to put the night before and let the hotel know what time to expect the client the following day, so that the reservation is not canceled as a no-show. Again, the reason for this is when they run the night audit, which is usually about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, that is when they reconcile all the rooms and the reservations, okay? If somebody was scheduled to check in and didn't check in by 2 or 3 a.m. the next morning, the reservation gets canceled. So let's say they show up at 8 o'clock a.m. the next morning and they're wanting to check in now. Their reservation was canceled and their room went back into inventory. so it may no longer be available. So if you have somebody who is taking a red eye, or if you have somebody who is checking in, let's say past midnight, always, always, always call the hotel and let them know that your client will be a late check-in, possibly not arriving till 2 a.m. So they know not to cancel that room. Because if they run night audit early and they cancel that room, the reservation is gone. And sometimes it can be really hard to reinstate those, especially if they're booked through Expedia or Priceline, things like that. Then you would run into that issue where it's really hard to reinstate those. Any questions on any of these that I've gone over so far? No? Okay. So here are some more common mistakes. Making reservations for the wrong hotel. Guys, I've seen this happen so many times. A lot of hotels have very similar names or locations after the name. You know, it's the Best Western downtown, or the Best Western, you know, something. You have to confirm the name and address of the property so that you know that you're booking the right one that the client wants. Hotel names can be misleading, and some hotels can have similar names. Always check to make sure if a client has asked for a specific hotel that you are verifying the address to make sure you are booking the correct hotel. Example, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Houston Downtown Convention Center. That's an IHG hotel, or there's also the Holiday Inn. Okay, it's another Holiday Inn, but it says Houston Downtown. It does not say Convention Center. And it's also not an Express and Suites, which means they typically, their breakfast is different, things like that. So again, you want to make sure that you're confirming if the client has asked for a very specific hotel, confirm the name, full name of the hotel, and the address. All right, pricing doesn't include taxes or resort fees. Sometimes, you know, this will happen. So before you quote a price, double check if that includes taxes and fees. And if not, let the client know how much of an added cost those are. Typically, you will see that with European hotels where it doesn't include the cost of taxes and fees, and those are due at the hotel. Parking fees can be an additional cost at hotels that typically charge a per night or total stay deposit, which your clients will need to pay and factor into their decision. So let's say, I know like San Diego is huge for it. Every hotel charges parking fees almost. So that is something that you would want to put in your recommendations or your quote to your client. Parking fees are $25 per night per car, no more than 2 cars per room. Those are type of things that you guys want to tell your clients, okay, as they're making their decisions, so that they're not, you know, finding out that they have to pay, like, I don't know, between parking fees and resort fees, maybe an extra $500, right? So you have to be as informed as you can be so that you can help them make the right decision, okay? Also, like I said, typically they will require a charge card at check-in for, sometimes they'll pull a deposit on it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have a set deposit fee that they pull on it, and that's for any incidentals or charges to the room. So I know like a lot of hotels in Las Vegas do this, and they have like a set amount, like $250 is going to be put on the card as a hold when they check in. Let the client know these things so they are prepared for these costs when they come, and they're not blindsided when they come to the front desk and the front desk says, I'm going to put a $250 charge on this card as a hold until you check out for damages or incidentals, things like that, okay? Also not checking hotel reviews. That's another mistake. Now, hotel reviews are subjective, but reading a few and seeing what actual guests are saying can be helpful when narrowing down options you want to present. Check the dates of the review to see if it's recent, as well as if the hotel has commented on the review. If the hotel has commented on the review, that's a hotel that is actually interested in their clients' points of view, okay? If they don't respond to clients' ratings or reviews, I don't know, I might put like a hesitant on that one, okay? So click on the highest and the lowest stars to see what the comments are saying, both negative and positive. The reason why you'd want to check the low reviews is to see if they are truly negative or if the hotel was not a right fit for the client, okay? An example of this could be, it says kid-friendly, but is not, example says kid-friendly, but is not, or it says waterfront and there isn't a beach, okay? You want to check these things. Again, I see this all the time in Telegram. People say, tell me your top 3 hotels for Cabo, right? No, what you need to do is you need to be qualifying your client, okay, finding out what they need in a hotel, picking 2 to 3 options, and then asking for everybody's opinion. So out of these 3 options, which one do you guys think is the best, okay? Because we all need to do our own work. We all need to research, okay? Researching is part of your job. You are a professional Googler. Learn to Google. That is what needs to happen. All right, any questions on any of these? All right, pop quiz. What is a day rate? What is a day rate? Not staying overnight. Yep. Also called a day room, a reduced rate granted for the use of the guest room during the daytime, not overnight occupancy, usually provided on a tour when a very late night departure is scheduled. What is a bar or rack rate? What is a bar or rack rate? It's the daily published rate, correct? The published rate for a travel component, the price of a hotel prior to any discounts, okay? Starting rate, no discount. Perfect explanation, Tanya. What is a European plan? No meals. You will not be fed on the expense of the hotel. Room only, no meals. Give me an example of an amenity. Parking, valet parking, pool, Wi-Fi, exercise room. Yes, yes, and yes. Wi-Fi, parking, breakfast, business center, bathrobes, etc. Can you request a rollaway in a room with 2 queen beds? All right. So you guys all say no, but did you read the question? Can you request a rollaway room with 2 queen beds? Typically, no, but there are circumstances when a rollaway can be requested, okay? So again, it's not a guarantee, it's a request. And what is a common mistake that is made when reserving a room? The wrong hotel, okay? Wrong hotel, assumptions. Incorrect travel dates. These are the most common ones, is incorrect travel dates or the wrong hotel, okay? Those 2 are done so much, it's ridiculous. All right, so our upcoming modules, guys. We have module 5, which is going to be a deeper dive into booking hotels. Module 6 is going to be cars and land transportation. Module 7 is going to be tours and other add-ons. Module 8 will be cruises. Okay. And this week's challenge, guys, Desi and Lucy have 2 children, 5 and 6 years old, since we last sent them on their vacation. In addition, they are traveling with their dear friends, Fred and Ethel, who also have 1 child, 6 years old. They love their friends and want to take them on a trip. They are looking at staying all together or in separate rooms. Their vacation time is flexible in September this year. They would like to go to Disney World. I would love friends that like this, that would like to take me on vacation. Give me a sample booking for both 2 rooms and 1 room that can accommodate this vacation. Explain why you chose the resort and the accommodation choices. There's no need for airfare, but they will need transportation to the resort. Okay, so transfers. Budget isn't too strict at this point. They have around $10,000 for the accommodations and no tickets will be extra. They are flexible and would think about a beach resort in Florida and would take recommendations as an option. Make sure that you use all travel lingo in your notes, and when booking travel, make flashcards or study notes and slash screenshots. Continue to add airport codes to your knowledge base, no less than 10 a week. Go ahead and take your screenshot so you know what this week's challenges are, so that you can do them to reinforce your learning. All right. Yeah, it's just a mock booking. Yep. And typically what I do is I show you what I found. And I will ask you guys what you guys found. If somebody's brave enough to show what they found, I'll let you guys share your screen so you can show us what you found. But it's not homework because we're all adults and we shouldn't have to call it that. But it will help you guys reinforce what you learned today. Modules 1 and 3 are recorded. They are on my YouTube, as well as I put them in the Telegram chats. These trainings are weekly, every Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. PST. And then our afternoon class, which is just a repeat of the morning class, is typically at 7 p.m. PST, but for today, it's at 4 p.m. PST because I'm flying out tonight. So any other questions that I can answer right now? And anybody not have the YouTube channel that need it? If you don't have any questions and you don't need the YouTube channel, you guys are good to go. Thank you so much. We went 2 minutes over, but I appreciate you.